Okay, Jody, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to make a cross stick boomerang. And these are just pieces of mat board. You can get a big chunk of mat board and cut it up into strips, or you can go to a frame shop and ask them for scraps, or you can just use regular cardboard, whatever. There's tons of different ways you can do this, but basically the setup is just it's about 1 foot long and this is about 3/4 of an inch wide. You can make them thicker. They'll fly different if you make them thicker. Make them a little longer. You can make them you can even make them out of cardboard like cereal box cardboard. Make them real tiny and fat. You can throw them inside in a room like this size. But this one right here, I'm going to make for you real quick. And what I did is I've got some double stick tape that I'm going to glue it together with. Hot glue works. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center. Put my tape in the center. Peel off this tape, the other side of it. And hot glue will work. Hot glue works pretty well. I'm just make a cross out of it. It's called a cross stick boomerang. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up each wing about 1/3 of the way up, and I'm going to put a bend in it. All the way around. And what I can do is I can throw this inside. Now this ceiling's a little high, or a little low. The gym would work perfect. But I throw this, I'm going to flip my wrist, and I'm going to throw it like I'd throw a knife, overhand like this. And I'm going to throw it, if I'm outside, I want to position myself so that the wind is blowing into my left ear. Because what I want is I want this to go out, it's going to spin, it's going to go out, and it's going to flatten out, and it's going to come right back to me like this. So I think I can get it to go in this room. I'll see. Let me get it like this. That came back and it stopped right over here. But what you can do is upstairs outside in a bigger area, you get the wind blowing in your left ear, just like this. Give it a throw. Just flipping the wrist up and out like this. And what happened, you couldn't see, was it went out and it came around and it stopped. I just didn't have enough room to get it up in the air, but it stopped right about over here. All right? So you just flip it like this, and it'll go out, around, and you try to catch it flat-handed like this, like a person might catch a frisbee. The other thing you can do is you can turn it around the other way so that the fins are pointing away from me. And the ear then my wind is blowing into my right ear, and I'm going to throw it like this, and it'll come around the opposite direction towards me. It's easy to do. Kids can make 1,000 of these things. Another thing you can do with these is you can just use a thicker piece of cardboard. This one is probably too thin, but a thick piece of cardboard, and you can make it various lengths. And what you make is, this is real simple. This is called a tumble stick. And it's just a stick of cardboard. And I can flip this up in the air, and what it'll do is it'll go out, it'll find its center. Just flipping it up in the air like that, just flip of the wrist. Goes up, it finds its center, and then what it's going to do is it's going to tumble back to me, and I can catch it like this. If I flip it underhand, it'll go out, it'll find its center, and then it tumbles away from me. And where it finds its center, that's called gyroscopic precession. So I can throw anything up, and basically everything has its center. This has a center. Football has a center. Spiral, and I throw a spiral, whatever. Once it starts to spin, that starts to push air, and basically what it does, it paddles back to me. If I throw it overhand and up, paddles back. Underhand, I can flip it, and it'll go away to someone else. That's an easy one too. It works better if the cardboard's a little thicker, and what works even best is the thick. It's what they make signs out of. I've seen these on for golf tournaments. They'll use them and they'll put signs around each one of the golf holes. It's like a plastic. It's like a corrugated plastic. And I have some of this stuff that I will give you. I'll bring it by and I'll drop it off at school and give that to you. So. 2 ideas, real quick hitters. These are fun things that you can do anytime. Just do boomerangs. You can also make boomerangs out of yardsticks, the same thing, just glue them together. To bend them, you get them wet and then apply pressure to them. You can apply pressure to them and a little bit of heat, and that'll bend them. So if you want to do yardsticks, you could do that. So there's all different kinds. Paint sticks are another one that you can use. Paint sticks are really good for that. So I'm going to put this up on YouTube for you, and I'll send you the link, and hopefully you can get the materials together and do something with this. You know, anytime you have two or three hours, 2 or 3 class periods, you need to do some boomerang stuff. There's all kinds of history you can look up on boomerangs as well. So good luck. See ya.